Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to show you what came in my February BoxyCharm. It's a much bigger box than I remember. So I opened it up because there was a skincare item I thought I might get, and I wanted to use it before I got to the point where I am now, where I have all of my skincare and my sunscreen on for the day. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to jump into the box. I'm just going to open up the rest of it because I left everything in the box except for this. I took this out and I used it this morning. This is from First Aid Beauty. It's their facial radiance pads, and it's supposed to help exfoliate, tone, and brighten. Now, what's interesting here is that it says on the side it's alcohol free, and then it gives you directions for how to use it, and then it has that it was made in the United States and all of its distribution. It has their 800 number and their website, but it doesn't anywhere on here give information for the ingredients. And I was like, that's interesting. And so I was thinking maybe it'd be on the BoxyCharm card. And I'm digging through here and I'm finding other things, but alas, there is no card. There's a lot of packing material, but no card. I was like, what? So the lack of a card in this BoxyCharm box is rare because I see a lot of other photos online of people who received a card. I'm sure it was just something that got forgotten to be placed inside my box. What I can tell you is I got 5 full-size products, so I don't think anything got forgotten out of my box. But I'm having like Ipsy flashbacks. I haven't subscribed to Ipsy in years, but years ago I used to kind of lament the fact that they did not include a description card in their bag. When I used to get Birchbox, I used to love the description on the Birchbox, kind of like postcard telling you what was in the bag and how to get more of it. And I've always appreciated that about BoxyCharm. I think it's very thoughtful. And I don't always use it to its fullest, but when it's not there, I'm like, wait, what's going on? How much is stuff? So I had to look everything up online. So when I used these this morning, I took a pad out and I was able to get like my whole face, like my neck and my décolleté. And I just stepped out of the shower and I'm really good at making sure that I scrub everywhere, that I wash my face really well. And in the morning, I don't double cleanse because I'm not wearing any makeup. I just use a really light hydrating facial wash in the shower. And then when I step out, I usually use a toner. And since this said it was going to help me tone, I was like, you know what, I'll use that today. And so these pads have a slightly waffly type texture to them. You can see that this side is the textured side. The other side, you can still see it through there, but this texture, it does, the little ridges and pockets do help to hold on to the exfoliating liquid in here, but it also does give a little extra oomph to help exfoliate your skin. I didn't feel like it overstripped my skin. It doesn't really smell like anything. I like that it doesn't smell like anything, even though it has a lot of citrus products in here. I think this would be great, but here's what I would say. If you have skin that sensitizes easily to any product, please use with caution. I wish it did tell you to use sunscreen, because when you're using things like exfoliating acids, glycolic acid and lactic acid, I do really feel like you're going to need a layer of sunscreen, and there is no, please use sunscreen when you use this product on here, and I wish it had that. So just from me to you, if you're going to use these, make sure you throw on at least an SPF 30, preferably an SPF 50 every single day, and at least for a week after. You should wear it every day, but if you're one of those that exfoliating acids are something you haven't done before, you definitely want to make sure you use a sunscreen. The next thing I got was a primer. This is the 4-in-1 correcting primer. It's the Energizing Rescue from Pure. And this says that it is silicone free with aloe, coconut water, and probiotics. And this is interesting because here it says at the bottom, sunburn alert. This product contains an alpha hydroxy acid, an AHA, that may increase your skin sensitivity to the sun and the possibility of sunburn. Use a sunscreen, wear protective clothing, and limit sun exposure while using this product and for a week afterwards. So I love that they put that here for you to see. And it just says to soothe on to clean, dry skin alone or before makeup application. I'm going to take this little guy off here. I never have dry skin. Once I'm done with my skincare, my skin is always very hydrated. So I don't know that I would feel comfortable putting this on like in place of skincare. I mean, I'm always gonna wear sunscreen. And in the winter time, I can't leave the house without multiple layers of hydration. So maybe the clean, dry skin is if you're not a skincare lover, because your skin, you'll step out of the shower, you'll put this on. It has kind of a nice light scent to it. It doesn't smell floral. It doesn't really smell herbal. I like it. But it also, what's great about it is since it doesn't have that really weird thick silicone feel to it, since it is a silicone-free primer, I like it a lot. But what's interesting here is glycolic and lactic acid in this, a different AHA in this. I'm glad I'm wearing SPF today. Make sure you do as well. The next thing in my box is something from Ciate London. It's their Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. I have never tried, well, there's very little I tried from Ciate. I'll put it that way. Hello. I'm having a hard time getting this open. I was a little disappointed that in December's box I got one of their highlighters and it was too dark for me. So I am excited to try this. It's kind of cute packaging. Ooh, it's a very white powder. Here's hoping it's translucent. So this just has a regular sifter. I'm gonna put the lid back on and tip some out into the lid. Ooh, wow. It's very white and very finely milled. All right, so this, it says on the back of the box that it's supposed to, the back of the box says I'm supposed to apply generously to areas with concealer and bake and set makeup. Leave on for 3 to 5 minutes and sweeping away the excess and lightly dust over oil-prone areas. I'm not much of a baking my makeup kind of person, but I will use it to set my under eyes today. I'm just gonna pick a little bit up on this powder here, make sure that my concealer is not settling into my crinkly under eyes, and we'll dust a little bit of this. It has a very slight scent of coconut. It doesn't remind me like when you open the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, there's a very strong coconut scent there. This is, I think, a lot more reserved in its scent, but it still definitely has a light coconutty scent. I feel like it does a good job of setting the face. It looks very matte, I will tell you that. I don't feel like it's gonna be maybe my favorite powder for all over. I'm gonna quit clunking stuff on the counter here. I'm a little concerned that it is like a purely white powder. I feel like I'm dusting powdered sugar all over my face, but it does set my makeup, but it does look very matte. So I have the trio. I was hoping I would get these from Alamar Cosmetics. The brushes, the face brushes, and I love that they came with little brush protectors over the top. So we have a brightening brush. This is their bronzer brush, and this one is their complexion brush. You know, I think I'm gonna use bronzer, blush, highlight. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I have rediscovered this palette from Cover FX. This came in a BoxyCharm. I think it was a Boxy Luxe last March, basically almost a year ago. And I really love it. I hadn't used it in a long time, and I've been very impressed, especially with the bronzer in here. So I think this is nice. I like how soft these are. They're very nice. All right, so I'm gonna use this for the blush that's in here. I'm just gonna, oh, wow. I definitely feel like it's a very bright blush. So I'm gonna wipe off what's left of my brush and just use this to buff in the color. Boy, I love how soft these are. I normally use a slightly smaller blush brush. My favorite recently has been, oddly enough, like the $3 e.l.f. blush brush. I like the shape of it. I think it's the shape that I really like. I don't know that this is gonna outdo my current blush brush, my $3 blush brush, but it is nice and I like how soft it is. All right, so I'm gonna use this brightening brush for highlight. We'll brighten. I'm gonna make sure that the highlight in this palette is serious. I don't wanna go too crazy here. I think these are nice brushes. I love having brushes, and I liked the first set that I got from Alamar. It was their Ojitos little eye trio. It was a trio of green handled wooden brushes, and I like these. I like the shape, I like the bright metallic color, and I do love how soft they are. So these are nice. These are valued at $36. I probably wouldn't pay $36 for them, but I am glad to have them. So the last thing in the box is the iconic London Day to Slay eyeshadow palette. Wow. It has glitter, shimmer, and mattes in here. And it says you can create endless looks with 20 highly pigmented pink, peach, bronze, and gold shades. Oh, so pretty. Look at this. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, I love that. Okay, so I'm going to use the mirror in here. I'm going to take the plastic. This is one of my favorite things to do. Love that. So to start out, I'm going to start out with this shade right here. This is called Ultimate Tan. Ooh, it does pick up a lot. I'm going to make sure to not put too much. I'm using a larger fluffy brush, but I kind of want to diffuse this shade softly all over the eye. Kind of crease and a little bit above. And I like using a larger soft brush for this. This is a Wayne Goss number 3. I think if it gets too much bigger than this, I don't have a lot of real estate on my eyelid, but this is just big enough to make sure it gets where I want it, and then that the edges are very nicely blended. I think I'm going to deepen it up a little bit, and I'm going to use this shade here. This is called Taupe de Taupe. Interesting name. Just going to tap this right on the outside edge. I think this would be like a fabulous palette for if you're wanting to do like a soft glam look. This has got soft glam written all over it. I'm going to go just a little bit darker, and this one up here is called Deep Soul. I'm going to take a little bit of that. I've moved to a slightly smaller brush. I'm worried that I might have picked up too much, so I'm just brushing the excess off on my Veramona color switch. I'm going to use this light matte shade up here called In the Nude, just under the arch of my brow. There is one that is even lighter. It's called Marshmallow, but this one's really close to my skin tone, so I think it'll be great for just kind of lightly blending the upper edge here and making sure I still have a highlight in the arch of my brow. I want to see how some of these shimmers perform. So, ooh, look at this. This is VIP Vibes. I don't know if I want to do that or this more peachy one called Wonderland. Maybe we'll do a little of each. We'll start with VIP Vibes here. Oh, that's really nice. And then a little bit of this peachy one here called Wonderland, just kind of in the center. Oh, I like these a lot. I'm going to take the first shade I started with, which is Ultimate Tan, on a smaller brush and just run it right here underneath all the way across the underside of my lower lash line. I think I'm going to use the lightest shimmer in here, down here. It's called Icon. I think I'm going to put some of that on my inner corner. Ooh, that's very bright. So the eyeshadow palette from Iconic London is valued at $62. I don't know that I told you the prices of everything. This was $17. This was valued at $34. This coconut powder is $22. The brush set is $36. And this is $62 for a total value of $171. I opened this box and I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. I was glad to see these. I like these a lot, but I think what I'm more impressed with is this. I really feel like I got a really gorgeous look, and I feel like the shades in here are so pretty. You can go kind of more rosy, you can go kind of more warm and orange. You can go really light and white or really dark and taupey. You can really get a lot of looks out of this. And it has a nice mirror in it. I wish it was a little thinner. You know, I'm not gonna lie, a little thinner, but it kind of looks like a little box of chocolates. And for February, that's really rather cute. I like this a lot. And I feel like the look that I got today was nice. So there's not a single maybe full-on dud in this box. I think this is the one thing that I may not be as excited about, but there have been other powders that I've gotten through BoxyCharm. One that I can think of off the top of my head is the Becca Hydrate and Set, or the Mist, and I forget what it is. It's the one that has the little bouncy mesh net, and it feels like you're putting water on your face. I feel like the powder really performs beautifully, and it took me a while to fall in love with it. And I'm hoping I will fall in love with this too. I'm a little concerned that it's so finely milled and white, but it doesn't look bad. And I feel like if I'm using it to set my face, I'm not a person who bakes, so I'm not going to use it for baking. I think it's going to be just fine. I am really glad to have these. I wish we'd gotten the larger size, but that's fine. I feel like overall it was a really good box for me. And I was able to customize my box this month. I didn't forget. And I chose the iconic London eyeshadow palette, and I'm very glad I did. So if you get BoxyCharm, I would love to know what you got in your box, or if you have a different favorite beauty subscription service, let me know what it is in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you've ever received a product that really knocked your socks off. I like that we get to try and sample products that I probably would never have purchased on my own. I've seen these for a long time, but I don't think I ever would have purchased them. I definitely would not have purchased this pure primer, but I think it's going to be nice. And I love the iconic London eyeshadow palette, but I couldn't see myself paying $62 for it. So I am very pleased with what came in my box. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. If you aren't subscribed, would you please? And I'll see you again soon.